Yeah, Michael is putting a lot of bullshit out lately. He just uploaded a video about interviewing Carrie Lake of all people, and she's just another atrocious politician on the right wing. I remember her openly on stage and on national TV cucking her own husband to Donald Trump, and she's just another fucking loser. And aside from that, he has another video about Andrew Tate, about God not being in America, but I'll get to those later. And this video is also long overdue, but I'm busy and people don't really bother with my videos anyway, but I just feel just compelled to do this because this guy is just a fucking piece of work. But anyway, now skipping all of his bullshit self-promotion and invocation of Christianity here.
Okay, I don't like it. I know it. I understand the law. I understand the system. I understand law enforcement. I got involved in politics. Yes, I paid some off at the times. I did all of that stuff. So when I talk to you about certain things, I come from that perspective. It's part of who I am. It's my worldview. It's not what I'm doing now.
Yet you left that life, betrayed the oath for the sake of your family, while your dad fucked your immediate family up, which you still chose that life over becoming a doctor. No, I think Christianity is more your perspective, which has nothing to do with reality. It is reality? Okay. Christianity says we're all born naturally because of sin, which means we're incapable of being good. Yet you're here, whining about the world in your almost every fucking video. You are whining about human fucking nature according to this religion.
Okay, but that doesn't leave you, you know? Listen, I'm a Christian. When I came to Christ, I didn't get a lobotomy. I still forget the stuff I did on the street. I just resist all of that because I know it's wrong.
No, you're just brainwashed. What does religion have to do with the mafia? Mobsters aren't usually religious. Mafia is the worst of society, while it severely burdens the economy as it undermines business. Religion burdens the world while it undermines humanity.
I'm telling you this, I don't glorify the mob life, you know that. But neither do I say things that are untrue about it.
You glorify Christianity, though, which is a grotesque religion.
It's not my place to do that. Not my place at all. But understand something. There's things going on now that I'm seeing in our government and our world that I didn't see on the street. Forget the Roy DeMeo.
And how exactly is Christianity better than the government?
Make him a serial killer. Roy DeMeo was who he was, with the mob or without the mob. Same with Greg Scarf.
God wasn't the killer? God didn't flood the earth? God never fucked with people?
People were who they were. The mafia didn't make them that way. That's who they were, regardless of where they were. They would have just done the same thing, but differently. Now, does the mob make some people more violent than they would have been? Yes, of course. Am I sugarcoating anything? No. Did I see violent acts? Of course. Okay, I'm not sugarcoating anything, nor am I saying that it's right. But I'm telling you this now. Some of the things that I'm seeing in government, some of the things that I'm seeing by people on the street, I didn't witness in my time in that life. People wouldn't do the things that are going on now. And I have to talk about it. You know, I do. Yes, I'm doing the mob stuff. You saw the last one I did on James Gandolfini, who I love, by the way. 10-year anniversary.
Why do you have to talk about it? And what credibility do you have? How does your past experience qualify you with anything?
I guess the passing of his dad. We did something about The Sopranos. It was great, and I'm going to continue to do that. But I am so thankful for all of you. The last several videos that I did, we talked about issues, real issues. The response was terrific. Michael, thank you for finally getting into this. We wanted to hear it from you, your perspective on these issues. So I'm going to continue to do that. It's not politics.
Which indicates that people can't think for themselves. You use this to inflate your ego. I see right through that.
I hate politics. We're talking about issues that are impacting our lives. Unfortunately, politics have an impact on that. But we're talking about issues. And I have one today that's just burning inside of me that I have to talk about. I mentioned it, but I got to talk about it because I have to make
So what impact does Christianity have on America? Should it have any impact on anything?
You're just not. So I want to be that voice. You take the information, do with it what you will, but at least you get the information. I have a platform, I'm going to give it to you. From my perspective as a former mobster and a current, person of faith. So I'm going to read an article that just disgusted me. Got
Well,
me
of
sick.
course, you
And I
aren't
think
going
many
to
of you
explain
are
how
gonna feel
either
the
of those
same
hold
way.
any
Got me
water.
sick. I'm going to read it, and I did some research behind it. It's accurate, because I don't want to say things that are not accurate. The other day I did something on the Hells Angels, and I told you it was an article that I read, pretty accurate.
The video title says, "Targeting Kids," but you haven't mentioned the Catholic Church. Shame on you, Mikey. What about your Christian perspective? Catholic priest pedophilia isn't included in your criminal/mystical package?
It's accurate, because I don't want to say things that are not accurate. The other day I did something on the Hells Angels, and I told you it was an article that I read, pretty accurate, some inconsistencies in it, but I read an article. It wasn't my research, but I think most of it was pretty true. And some people commented, Michael wasn't exactly that way. Okay, this guy did his research, but this I believe to be pretty accurate and sickening, to tell you the truth.
You're taking the word of people who are likely MAGA and declare all bad news about Donald to be, quote, fake news? Yeah, you just confirmed yourself to have nothing. Did any of your followers see anything or experience anything in that article for themselves? No, right? So what the fuck?
Let's get into it. Listen to the title of this article. Gender-affirming surgery puts a feel-good phrase on child butchery. Doesn't the title get you sick? Gender-affirming surgery. We're going to get into that and tell you what it is. Puts a feel-good phrase on child butchery. Just the title gets you sick. A decision by a federal judge in Arkansas isn't always a matter of great importance. It's Arkansas. But this week, one was. The judge in question struck down Arkansas's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. That's people under 8.
So this article goes from, quote, surgery to care? Do you even know what gender-affirming care is? I doubt you bothered to look it up. Is this your Christian perspective at play here? Just reacting to words? How is the word minors critical?
18 years old. Minors. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. Okay? Minors. Arkansas was the first state to pass such a ban, although 18 other states have passed similar laws, including Alabama, Florida, Oklahoma, and Texas. All of them have been criticized by the White House. President Biden has called such bans outrageous and immoral. Our president has called bans on gender-affirming surgery for minors outrageous and immoral. That's our leader. That's our president.
Yet you side with a God who once collected foreskins. God has never abused or murdered children or commanded anything onto them? What the fuck?
Okay, let's keep going. White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre, I don't know where this woman is coming from, added, "These are our kids. They belong to all of us." Really?
I agree that's a strange statement, but maybe someone should ask her to explain what she meant, instead of automatically assuming what she did. Christianity at play here. Where did that say Joe Biden? This was a definite nitpick.
Our kids belong to you? Our kids belong to Joe Biden? Is he going to take as good care of them as he did to Hunter Biden? Where does he come off saying that? Did he bear these kids?
What are you talking about Hunter Biden for?
Their illnesses?
What do you mean?
Did he pay for their
What?
schooling? Did he go through the emotional ups and downs you do with young kids? Really? Our kids? He's not. My kids are not his kids. And I'm sure 90% of the population believe the same thing. Who are they to say this? Where did this come from?
Ask yourself that question, Mikey. Who are you to say anything? Christianity should have nothing to do with politics, while you said yourself you hate politics. While it says we are fallen. Get it yet, Mike? Fallen world!
We live in a commune?
It's what you believe.
No, it's not. Nor is it socialism. Not yet. Our children are our children. We fed them, we clothed them, we bore them, we got them through their illnesses. We did it all. We took them on vacation. We fed them. We bled with them. They're our kids. They're nobody else's. Which is an interesting...
How has and is capitalism any better? How is Christianity any better? Why is anyone ever sick or hungry if God is perfect and benevolent? Why is benevolence necessary if God is perfect? That was blown way out of proportion, I think.
Interesting formulation. Until the day before yesterday, it was believed that children belong to their parents. That's how we all grew up. Since the beginning of civilization, children belong to their parents.
Yeah, skip ahead a little bit.
And horror. I'm looking at it in amazement and horror right now, and so are many of you. I guarantee that within even just a few years, people will say of this era, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? Let's continue. Let's start with that innocent-sounding phrase, gender.
Nobody is thinking, not even you.
It sounds so nice, doesn't it? Who doesn't want to affirm people, especially minors? I'll tell you who. Any response.
Doesn't Christianity affirm children? Well, it affirms everyone. But the Republican Party claims to be all about protecting the children, under the straw man notion that the Democratic Party is full of pedophiles. I despise them too, but I don't believe they're pedophiles. They're just a bunch of whiny losers who do nothing but complain about morons like you.
Responsible adult. Because let's remind ourselves what this gender-affirming care actually consists of. It consists of telling confused and often deeply unhappy children that their problems can all be sorted out if they decide that they were born in the wrong body and that this is fixable. And these are minors. These are your minor children. These are not adults. They're minors. Remember that. What do you think you're capable of your child at 11, 12, 13 years old is deciding on their own? Something so critical. So critical. How is it fixable? First, by easy little things like puberty blockers and hormonal.
Aside from the absence of source citations, what's your answer to those? What's your answer to these unhappy children, Mikey? They're inherently guilty because of Adam and Eve? Really?
Treatment. Do people realize what these things, also designed to sound simple and innocuous, actually are? They are drugs whose long-term effects we have almost no studies on. Do you want to put drugs in your kids that there are almost no studies on?
What backing does Christianity have?
Drugs that can change the chemistry of their bodies? Drugs that can have long-term effects? Do you believe that our president and our White House is affirming this? Do you believe that there are doctors out there and psychologists and teachers and superintendents that are affirming this? They want to take your children and tell you, without your consent, by the way, without your consent, that you can give them medication, hormone treatments that are going to change the chemistry of their body.
Michael, even if you are right about this being a problem, you are a Christian, which means you believe we're all born with original sin. No matter what you say, this ideology makes you wrong and a hypocrite. The government isn't allowed to say anything about the kids, but Christianity is allowed to undermine humanity and justify to judge and eternally punish, just because the Bible fucking says so. And it's true because you believe it's God's infallible fucking word? Really? You stupid ignorant asshole.
Before they're old enough to realize what the heck is really going on. You know, there's a study saying that a brain in a child doesn't really mature until they're in their 20s, 25, 26.
Which means no parents should be subjecting their kids to any religion either. Got it? The word, you said it.